1 ball, 2 strike count. We apologize for the technical difficulties, and that ball is fouled straight back.
We got a dollar bill blowing across the field here. Somebody may be trying to make a donation. So it's a 1-2 count, and not 100% sure how much you missed, but it's a reset. Bobby Seymour on third, Cavadas on second, Lansley on first. Bases loaded here with nobody out in the visitors' half of the 8th. Harwich threatening to score here.
The 1-2, swing and a miss for strike 3, and down goes Malinowski with a swing. 1 away. And just a scoring update, Nico Cavadas was actually awarded a hit instead of an error, so that's actually 3 consecutive singles to lead off the inning, but now a strikeout swinging, and there's 1 down.
Yep, got to take advantage of it, and coming up to the dish to try to do that will be Brian Dempsey, who is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. He'll be stepping in from the right-hand side once again.
And the first pitch is chopped foul by Dempsey towards the third base dugout.
And obviously with a lead as big as what they have, you've got the infield playing back at double play depth. You can definitely afford to concede the run here if you aren't able to turn 2, but got the prospect of maybe making that happen. No reason for a close play at the plate.
No balls and a strike. Bases still loaded. And that fastball misses high. 96 on that one.
So far this season, Brian Dempsey 0 for 9, still looking for his first hit. Wouldn't this be an excellent time to get it?
Represents the tying run. The 1-1 on the outside corner for a strike.
Dempsey ended the 6th inning. That was the one where, similar to this one, they were able to get 3 hits to start the inning. Well, an error and 2 hits. Got 1 across the score. Couldn't find a way to get the other 2 in.
It would be really deflating if Harwich was unable to get any runs after such a great start to the inning. But a 1-2 count to Dempsey. Here's the pitch. Misses low and outside for a ball.
Yep, and you can see punching the glove with disgust out there. Not very happy with himself is Kyle Nicholas. Thought he had a pretty good pitch dialed up, just yanked it a little bit low.
Long look in, and Dempsey awaits. The 2-2. That one misses as well, so a 3-2 count. And a huge pitch in this game.
You can tell Nicholas wanting to go low and away, not getting the spot. And now with a full count, he's got to put something in the zone.
Matt Oldham will bat next, barring a double play. And here's the payoff. Fly ball out towards right. Under it is Chavers. He'll make the catch. Tagging is the runner. And scoring is Bobby Seymour. So a sacrifice fly for Brian Dempsey as he scores Seymour. Cavadas moves up to third. So it'll be runners at the corners with 2 away in a 7-4 game now.
Yep, and still a pretty good situation here for the Mariners. Should they be able to make the most of it, it'll be Matt Oldham stepping up to the dish here. He grounded to first back in the 7th, and a pair of looking strikeouts for him before that. But a big chance here. His team trailing by 3. He represents the tying run.
So another big opportunity for Harwich to chip away and make things a little interesting. First pitch from Nicholas on the inside corner for strike.
Oldham also looking for his first hit of the year.
Playing in his 2nd game in this one. He was the catcher in the opener against Falmouth. Pickoff move, and back in time over at first is Lansley.
Lansley wouldn't be too terribly surprised if we see them try the double steal, although it's a pretty good arm in Colton Kessler behind the dish.
Runners at the corners and the 0-1 outside. Nicholas has been all over the 90s, it seems like, with his fastball. Some at 95, 96, others in the early 90s. So he's been able to change the velocity of that fastball. 1-1. Jammed him a bit, and it's fouled straight back for strike 2.
Yep, so falling behind here with 2 away. If you can't find a way to connect, the Mariners will be down to their final 3 outs, still trailing by 3, but they can make this a much more manageable situation. Even if they only get 1 run in here, it's a lot easier to be down by 2 than down by 3.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt, strike 3. The ball gets away. The runner's going to be safe at first, and the runner scores as well. So all of a sudden, on a drop third strike, Oldham reaches first, and the runner at third, Cavadas, scores. It is a 2-run game with a pinch hitter at the plate, Joey Weimer.
Well, how about that? And now Joey Weimer will come in to hit in place of Joe Lamuccio, but sometimes you got to be a little bit lucky, Colin, and that may be all Harwich needs if they can extend this inning and make something out of it. A drop third strike to score the runner. And so now runners on first and second, 2 away. As you mentioned, for Joey Weimer, who had a pretty big clutch hit last night against Chatham, although it came late in that game and ultimately did not end up becoming too fruitful.
Weimer hit .263 this past year with Cincinnati. 6 homers, 28 runs batted in. So if he can get a hold of one, he can give his team the lead late here in the 8th inning. Still out there, Nicholas. First pitch to Weimer fouled off. 96 on that one.
Yep, and of course Cam Thompson, the leadoff hitter, if it comes to that. Standing on deck right now, he'd also be searching for his first hit. But right now, Weimer, pretty big opportunity for him with runners on first and second and 2 away.
The 0-1 misses on the outside corner on the slider.
Yep, and that
Count
just
even.
narrowly misses. Weimer, a guy we know has some pop in the bat. That can't be the focus right now, but he definitely does have the capability.
Lansley at second, Oldham at first, 2 away. And a bluffed second on the pickoff. Mariners have scored twice in the inning thus far. Sac fly from Dempsey, and then a drop third strike brings home another run, the 1-1. That one misses low, 2-1.
And not a bad spot again by Kyle Nicholas, just barely missing. Very patient at bat here out of Joey Weimer.
Weimer digs in once again, pinch hitting for Lamuccio, the 2-1. Up and in, 3-1 now. Cam Thompson waiting on deck. And if Weimer reaches a base hit, could tie the game. Kyle Nicholas from the stretch once more. The 3-1. Fastball right down the middle for strike 2. So now the runners will get a head start. So a ball in the gap could tie this game.
Certainly could. A very, very big pitch coming up here and a decision to make for Kyle Nicholas. What do you come home with on a 3-2 count?
The 3-2. Ground ball right side. It's a tough bounce, but the play is made. The throw onto first is low and dug out at first by Dodd. So, despite a shaky 8th inning, the Cotuit Kettlers escape still with the lead. After 7.5, it is Kettleers 7, Mariners 5. Once again, you're listening to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Radio Network. Harwich Mariners go to the bullpen once more here in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Jared Weatherby making his debut, the Elon University lefty from Fiskdale, Massachusetts, out in Worcester County. As sophomore, 5'10", 203 pounds, once again out of Elon, down in North Carolina.
Yep, and he'll be pitching to his Elon teammate and Matt Oldham behind the dish. So these two definitely have a lot of experience working together. Take a look at Jared Weatherby's 2019 stats at the University of Elon. A 3.0 ERA, that through 84 innings of work. One save to add to that, and a 7-4 record as a reliever. And how about this? 98 strikeouts to only 23 walks, coming up just shy of 100 on the season. A pretty impressive year for him, and he looks to continue that here in the Summer League with the Harwich Mariners, coming in a pretty big spot, a 2-run deficit, and trying to keep that right where it is and give the Mariners one last gasp of air come the visitors' half of the ninth.
Now, not to get ahead of ourselves, it'll be interesting to see what pitcher the Cavaliers would go with in the 9th inning, given how many they've gone through so far. They've just exhausted their 5th pitcher in this one, so bullpen kind of dwindling for Cotuit.
Well, this time of year, you've got a lot of guys that are on temp contracts that you could potentially throw before a couple other people come in. This would be the weekend where a couple of players will be coming, so plenty of options out there in the bullpen, certainly not exasperating it yet. But, yeah, definitely a lot of arms that they've already gone through this game, Colin, and we'll have to wait and see whether Weatherby can have a clean slate here in this one. As his first pitch will miss low and inside for ball 1.
Weatherby will face Parker Chavers, who has doubled twice, came around to score both times in the 2nd and the 4th. He struck out looking in the 6th. The 1-0 to Chavers. High pop-up on the left side. The wind bringing it back into play, and nice job contending with it is Thompson, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, just another ball that gets popped a mile high, but a good job sticking with that for Cam Thompson, and he's able to put it away. And now Cameron Williams will step to the dish once again. Obviously, Williams with a big 2-run home run back in the 4th inning. Other than that, 0-for-2 with a strikeout.
Williams, one of a few switch hitters, 2 of them playing, including himself, that one being Araj Anu, who also went yard in this one. First pitch is a curveball in there for strike 1.
Yeah, but actually, I think that was his big circle change that he has. Getting plenty of movement on that one, coming in at just 71 miles an hour.
The 0-1 swing and a miss for strike 2. The other switch hitter being arguably one of their most talented players in Albury Major. Hasn't seen any action in this game, but boy, can that guy swing the bat. The 0-2. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not. And the count is 1-2.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of watching Albury Major. He came to Arizona State as an Oregon State Beaver, this year. So both of us got the chance to watch a guy that probably would have been the biggest headline on that team had Adley Rutschman, the number 1 overall pick in the draft, not played on the same squad.
1-2 misses outside, 2-2. Major, of course, also with a short stint with the Valley Blue Sox last year. Played a handful of games towards the end of the year. The team that ended up winning the New England Collegiate Baseball League. It's 2nd in as many years, the 2-2. Curveball fought off, and it's a high pop-up on the right side of the infield. And an easy play there made by Malinowski, 2 down.
Yeah, good to see some familiar faces in this league. A couple of guys you and I have had a chance to cover, some Arizona State products. A couple of guys from Boston, or not Boston College, but from UMass as well, here and there. So Duke Ellis, the 9-hole hitter, due up here. A couple of base hits for him, a stolen base to add on to that, and a strikeout back in the 2nd inning. For as many pitchers as they've gone through, no pinch hitters yet in this game.
First pitch is on the low and outside corner for strike 1. Ellis with a couple of 2-out singles in this one. Unfortunately, both of those followed strikeouts from Cam Hill, who waits on deck. The 0-1. That curveball's in there for strike 2, and Weatherby really bringing it so far, especially with that off-speed.
Yep, he's got a splitter and a circle change to boot, in addition to a fastball that can get upwards of 94 miles an hour, so a lot of variance on the speed.
0-2 pitch misses low for a ball. This would be a huge 8th inning for Harwich if they want to get any momentum going into the 9th and trying to rally, trailing 7-5 with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, this could turn into a bit of a statement game, too. Should they find a way to come back and win this, you'd be 2-2. You'd be heading for 3 straight home games. The momentum that would bring would be wild.
Fastball on the outside corner for strike 3 at 94. And with that, the side is retired. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jared Weatherby. Through 8 here at Cotuit. Cavaliers lead 7-5. You're listening to Mariners Baseball here on the Mariners Radio Network. Coach Roberts will stick with Kyle Nicholas, who pitched last inning and surrendered a couple of runs. So in a 7-5 ball game, we head to the top of the 9th, the top of the order, due up for the Harwich Mariners. That'll be Cam Thompson, who is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And a swing and a miss at the first pitch, 93 on the fastball.
Yeah, a lot of confidence put in Nicholas to bring him back out there, but he was the Ball State closer for a reason. I mentioned opponents hitting just 184 off of him. He had 6 saves towards the end of last season.
And that pitch misses upstairs for a ball.
Yep, trying to get him to climb the ladder there. Nothing doing as, again, you mentioned the top of the order. Coming up for one last shot here, only down by 2. Harwich needing some late inning heroics to get back in the 500 column.
1-1 fouled off. If my scoring is correct, Nicholas is eligible for a save because Hofstra gave up the leadoff single back last inning. It was a 4-run game at the time. So here's the 1-2. Curveball in there, strike 3. Buckled his knees, and Thompson strikes out for the 3rd time, 1 away.
Yep, tough day for Cam Thompson, but with 1 away, an opportunity here for Chris Gallant, who has taken advantage of what he's been given today. Reached on an error back in the 6th. Also got a base knock and a run scored back in the 1st. Aside from that, a ground out and a strikeout.
So now Chris Galland, who scored twice in this game. First pitch he sees misses upstairs. Singled and came around to score in the 1st, followed by a ground out to the pitcher in the 3rd. He then reached on an error and scored in the 6th, and then struck out swinging in the 7th. The 1-0, just a bit low, 2-0. Tying run in the on-deck circle, and it's Bobby Seymour, who has 3 hits in this one. Nicholas dealing from the windup, the 2-0. That one's at the knees for a called strike.
Yep, and finally taking the fastball down low for the most part, keeping that pitch up high. But he will drop it down and work the count to 2-1 here, trying to fight his way back.
Swinging a foul ball off to the right side out of play. Gallen came into this game hitting .333, 2 of 6, with a couple of at-bats. Or with a couple of walks, I should say. The 2-2. Curveball popped up. That one will get out of play as well.
Back to the Harwich bleachers. No play to be made there as it falls harmlessly to the steal.
Mariners looking to get that first guy on, so it'll give him a chance to tie the game with one swing of the bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nicholas from the windup once more. And the pitch is swung on and hit well down the right field line, going out of play. And it does make it over the fence, foul.
Pretty good piece of work there by Chris Gallen. Just couldn't quite straighten it out enough. See, we'll head back here. Count stays at 2-2. Good protective swing.
Bourne Braves still looking to get to their first victory of the season. They're ahead 6-2 in Falmouth at the top of the 7th. The 2-2 is in the dirt, and it skips up high as it caught Kessler up high. But a good stop by the catcher nonetheless. Kessler, the one who tied the game back in the bottom of the first inning with a 2-run triple to left center.
Yep, and finally the bats coming alive here for Harwich, but for as much as they've done today, Cotuit just laying it on even thicker.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away in the top of the 9th. The payoff pitch. Soft fly ball into center, a diving attempt, and the ball gets past the second baseman. A great effort there from Gonzalez. And now the tying run at the plate in the form of designated hitter Bobby Seymour.
In the form of 3-for-4 designated hitter Bobby Seymour. 3 hits in this game, including an RBI single back in the first inning. A very big at bat coming up here as his team looks for one more hit out of the lefty today.
And honestly, a base hit is just not quite as good as a home run, but definitely something that the Mariners would certainly appreciate, because with Gallen's speed, he might be able to get to third on a base hit to the right side. And Cavadas on deck, who singled in each of his last at-bats, but the first pitch to Seymour misses low.
Yep, and you mentioned earlier, you kind of alluded to it, maybe not wanting to get any deeper into the bullpen for Coach Roberts. Maybe a part of the reason why he's elected to stick with Kyle Nicholas. He's already given up 2 runs in this one. Well, 1 run.
Big open stance for Seymour. The first pitch, or this second pitch to him in the at-bat is laced foul over towards the Cavaliers bullpen, 1-1.
So back to work here with an even count. Still just 1 away here in the visitors' half of the 9th. Harwich trailing by 2 with a runner on first. Trying desperately to get back into this one as the sun begins to set. Some cloud cover making it a little bit dark here at Lowell Park.
1-1 is a ground ball to the right side, could be 2, and they're going to go for 1 instead, and having to stretch for that ball, but making the play is the first baseman, Dodd, and there are 2 outs.
Yeah, and you can see Dodd kind of looking at Gonzalez like, hey man, help me out a little bit here. There have been a couple of plays where it should have been a routine play at first base, but instead he had to make something crazy out of it just to get the out. So they do get the out, 2 away here, and the final out is represented by Nico Cavadas. He represents both the final out and the tying run. Cavadas 2-for-4 today, an RBI single, a base hit in the 8th, and then 0-for-2 other than that with a ground out to first and a ground out to second.
Colton Kessler with a quick conference with his pitcher before trying to get the final out of the game. 7-5 is your score here in the top of the 9th. Tying run at the plate. And Chris Gallen is at second, representing the run to make it a 1-run ball game. But for now, Nicholas. First pitch swinging is the batter Cavadas, and he fouls it off to the left out of play towards the parking lot.
Yep, no need to worry about the cars today, unlike at Chatham. So with an 0-1 count here, again, Cavadas swinging at the first pitch that he saw. Just trying to put this one in play and extend the inning.
Cavadas 2-for-4 in this ball game. The 0-1. Backdoor breaking ball misses low and outside for a ball.
Yeah, and it's a big sweeping hook. Not a bad spot, just unable to locate that down and away where he wanted it, and that'll even count at 1-1.
Cavadas singled and came around to score last inning on a drop third strike. The 1-1. High pop-up on the left side of the infield. The wind taking it, but the play is made. A nice catch by the third baseman, Schmidt, and that ends the ball game. So, the Cotuit Cavaliers improved to 4-1 on the season, and the Mariners dropped to 1-3. Final score from Lowell Park is Cotuit 7, Harwich 5. We'll take a quick break and then break down the recap of this game. Coming up next, you have been listening to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Radio Network. Back here one last time at Lowell Park, where the Mariners fall to the Cotuit Kettleers. Final score on that one, 7-5. Cotuit, 7 runs on 10 hits. They committed 2 errors and left 5 men on base. The Mariners, 5 runs on 8 hits, and they left 8 men on base. And Tyler, I think the big difference was just not being able to capitalize in bases loaded in 2 runners on situations as much as they would have liked to. They really started to figure it out in the 8th, but they had that great chance back in the 6th inning between bullpen guys, but the Mariners just weren't able to get as much runs simply as Cotuit Kettleers.
Sure, I mean, I think this is a positive game for the Mariners, all things considered. Unlike the last couple of losses that they've taken, they were really able to get on the bats today, and things looked a lot better, all things considered, when you look at what they were able to accomplish. 5 runs, they're able to go out there and put up another multi-hit game where they have over 5. They had 8 today. The big number, again, is going to be runners left on base, as you alluded to earlier. 8 for them in this game, only 5 for Cotuit, but I mean, this is a hot Cotuit team at this point in the season. They're going to be tough to take down no matter when you get them. The question is, can Harwich bounce back tomorrow with a doubleheader on Father's Day against against the Falmouth Commodores in a rematch of the opener?
Once again, we are supposed to play tomorrow against Falmouth in a doubleheader on Father's Day. Of course, weather permitting, we'll have to see how things go in that one. One last time, the Mariners fall 7-5 on the road to Cotuit. Winning pitcher in this one, Chris Holcomb, out of the pen, had an inning of relief. Pretty clean inning at that. Got him 1-2-3 with a strikeout. As far as the losing pitcher goes, Nick Stewart getting a loss after a 3 2/3 performance. 7 hits allowed, gave up 5 runs, all of them earned, and 5 strikeouts. A 2-inning save for Kyle Nicholas as he came in, put out a couple of fires, albeit after giving up a couple of runs, but he pitched a clean 9th inning, and he is given the save. So once again, for all of us here at Lowell Park, alongside my broadcast partner Tyler Henry, I'm Colin Casey. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we will hopefully see you tomorrow night for the home opener and Father's Day doubleheader against Falmouth. So long once again from Lowell Park. Final score, Cotuit 7, Harwich 5.